Hello, welcome back to class. And today we'll be talking about writing a statement of purpose. Writing a statement of purpose under the course in Immigration Counselling and Management. Immigration Counselling and Management. And we'll be looking at purpose and importance of statement of purpose. We will also look at the structure and composition of an effective SOP, the step-by-step SOP writing process, developing backup, academic goals, and also career alignment. We'll tailor SOPs to different countries and institutions, and we also look at the drafting, reviewing, and also refining SOP. And lastly, common SOP errors and how to correct them. When we talk about SOP, which is statement of purpose, what do we mean? It's actually a formal written document submitted as part of an immigration or academic application. And it is a personal narrative that explains an applicant's basic or background, motivations, and future goals. And the purpose of this is actually to demonstrate genuine intent, prove the applicant's true motivation for choosing a specific program and country. Also, the purpose is to explain background, which is the provision of context for academic records and career choices. Another is to align goals together, that is showing how the choices or chosen program fit into the applicant's long-term plan. And lastly is differentiating to differentiate the applicants. That is, it helps to the candidates to stand out beyond grades and test scores. And why is it so important? Why is SOP so important? It's actually often a key decision-making document, and it serves for it's useful for admission committees. That is, it assesses the applicant's clarity of thoughts, preparedness, and also fitting for the program. And for immigration officer, SOP actually is a primary tool for assessing risk, genuine intent, and also compliance with visa conditions. And when there is a weak or inconsistent SOP, it can actually lead to refusal, and even if all other documents are strong. And it provides the foundation for interviews and further evaluations. The structure of an effective SOP, it's actually a logical framework for a persuasive narrative, and these include introduction, talking about personal background and core motivations. The next is academic background, the educational history and preparedness. The next is the professional experience, and which deals with relevant work and skills if applicable. Another is the program or country rationale, and this talks about why this specific program, institution, and country. And the next on the structure is the career goal, which is in terms of short term and also long term aspiration. And we have the justification of gap, and this talks about the honest explanation for any academic or career breaks. And the last one is conclusion, which is summary of intents and commitments. Now, key SOP components, just like we said, this is the introduction. You set the tone, and you briefly state what you are, who you are, and your core motivations for applying. And you need to be engaging in this, but professional. And for academics, it highlights relevant qualifications, achievements, and projects, and it shows how your education has prepared you for this next phase. And for professional experience, it describes relevant job roles and skills. It links your practical experiences directly to your desire for future study or these specific opportunities. And the rationale for program and country, this is actually critical. And this talks about why this program, referring to specific courses, faculties, or curriculum. And another is why this institution, And this is mentioning its reputation, facilities, or unique strength. And the last one is why this country. And it talks about connecting to educational quality, global recognition, and also career opportunities. And for career goals, you clearly state realistic short-term and long-term goals, where you explain exactly how this program will help you to be able to achieve them. And lastly, for conclusion, summarizing your motivations and reaffirming your commitment to success and compliance. Now, in writing this, you have this 10 steps. And the first step is understanding all application requirements, the word limits, the prompts, and everything. You need to understand it. The second is to conduct self-assessments and gather all information. Then you research the program, institution, and country in depth. And you also the next is to create a clear outline based on the standard structure. The next is to write the first draft, focusing on content and flow. The fifth step is to align goals to ensure a logical connection between past, present, and future. The next step is to review for clarity, consistency, and accuracy. And the next step is for you to edit for grammar, style, and also professional tones for those using British style of writing or the US style of writing. So you need to actually fine tune it, you need to edit it to the style and professional tone. Also, the next is the seeking feedback and making revision. Seeking of feedback and making revision. And lastly, there's a final review and prepared for submission. Developing academic and career alignments, the SOP must create a logical bridge between where the applicant has been, where they are now, and where they want to go. And the background deals with the past, which talks about shaped their interest and which has shaped their interest and skills. The present is the academic goal, which deals with a natural extension of their background and gain specific knowledge. And the future is the career goal, which talks about the practical application of that new knowledge. And this logical pathway reassures decision makers of the applicants' genuine purpose and preparedness. In tailoring SOP to different countries, uh, if you are applying to Canada, your SOP should emphasize the alignment with long-term career goals and potential link to permanent residence pathway while maintaining temporary intent for study permits. And for US now, your SOP should emphasize academic curiosity, research interest, and also specific reasons for choosing the university. And for UK, your SOP should emphasize academic focus, clarity of purpose, and also understanding the intensive 1 year program structure. And lastly, for Australia, your SOP should emphasize the genuine temporary entrance requirements and the relevance of the program to future career. And in practice, there is need to research the specific assessment criteria of the destination country. Now, tailoring SOP to different institutions, you need to avoid generic statements. Don't say your university is excellent. No, you don't say that. Be specific. Mention specific professors who research interest you. Reference a unique course or lab that aligns with your goal. Comment on the institution's teaching philosophy or industry connection, and this demonstrates genuine interest and informed decision making, which significantly boosts credibility. And for the art of drafting, reviewing and refining. The SOP is a evolving document, and under the drafting, it focuses on getting your idea down in a logical structure, Don't worry about the perfection yet. And now you move to the reviewing, where you check for relevance and alignment with the program. You ensure consistency with all other application documents like the CV, the transcripts. Also, you verify all facts are correct, verify that all facts are correct, and then you now refine. You go to the refining, where you improve language, sentence flow, and also the tone. You also correct grammar and spelling error. You trim unnecessary words and strengthen weak statements, and you incorporate constructive feedback in this section. Common errors to avoid when you're talking about the statement of purpose. The first is generic content, just like we said, and the second is lack of clear purpose. A rambling narrative without a clear focus, you need to be careful about that. You also need to be careful of poor structure, which is disorganized paragraph that are hard to follow. You also need to be careful of inconsistency, that is information that conflicts with other application documents. You need to be careful of vague um, career goals which are unrealistic or non-specific plan for the future. You need to be careful of language errors, and you need to be careful of misrepresentation, which is exaggerating or falsifying information. How to correct common SOP error. For generic statements, you replace with specific examples and references to the institution, just like the one we gave in about 2 slides ago, previous slides. And poor structure. For poor structure, you correct following a clear outline, just like it has been given before. And also for vague goals, you define specific um, short-term and long-term objective. And for language error, you proofread meticulously and get feedback from a qualified reviewer. And for weak introduction, you start with a clear, engaging statement of purpose and motivation. And when dealing with inconsistency, you need to cross-check all documents, SOP, CV, your transcript, for accuracy as it pertains to all. In conclusion, the SOP is a strategic document, not just a formality. It is vital for both admission and visa decision. An effective SOP follow a clear logical structure that tells a coherent story. And the core of a strong SOP is the alignment between an applicant's background, the academic goals, and also the career plans. SOPs must be tailored to the specific country, an institution demonstrating genuine research and intent. And writing a great SOP is a process involving drafting, reviewing, refining, and also proofreading. And lastly, avoiding common errors like generic content, inconsistencies, and also poor language is essential for success. A well-written SOP is often the key that unlocks the door to opportunity. Thank you.